Come and get started on a new mission, a new direction, a new intention. Welcome to 5.8G Alive at Connections 50 Plus. I am Terry-Ann Joseph Brathwaite.
And I am Jennifer Gibbons Joseph, catering to all your prospects in the third act of life.
Economic well-being, social gratification, personal fulfillment.
Join us on Wednesday at 6 p.m. on Connections 50 Plus Facebook page, YouTube channel,
and on Gael the Caribbean.
Hello and welcome to 5.8G Alive. I am Terry-Ann Joseph Brathwaite, one of the co-creators of Connections 50 Plus, which is bringing you 5.8G Alive. And with me, as usual, my friend.
Hi, good evening, everyone. And I'm Jennifer Gibbons Joseph, the other co-creator of Connections 50 Plus. Welcome to our special show. Yeah.
Well, listen, we were finishing up our series on all kinds of stuff. And the very, very important thing slipped by. We didn't forget. Listen, we are 6 years old. On the 7th of April, we turned 6. But never too late to start the celebration. So happy birthday, Jennifer.
Thank you. Happy birthday to us. We are now 6 years.
I tell you, time passes so fast when you're having fun doing something you love and doing it with somebody that you really enjoy being with and doing things with.
And Terry-Ann, you should give a toast. I actually had my glass to toast. Yes.
I have my water mug.
Great, yes.
So Jennifer, we thought as we start, and listen, we are going to be celebrating over a couple of weeks. I know we might spill over into May. It's okay. We thought that we would bring some people together to help us celebrate. So we having a kind of party, an online party. So everybody join Jennifer and I with 5 of our friends as we celebrate Connections being 6 years old. Let's get into Tribe.
Yes.
Well, listeners, we're having our birthday party here. And here's everybody with the birthday party. We have some really, really loyal, long time, some new followers. And just for us to start, all of you know Jennifer and myself, but let the audience know who is attending the birthday party. So we start with the familiar face, Charmaine. How long you watching Connections 50 Plus?
Hi. Well, I think I was there from the very inception.
Yes, you are the launch.
I was at launch and everything. So I have been there from the very start. Impressed by how it has evolved. Um, the many different perspectives, different kinds of activities. I mean, you're spanning the whole gamut in terms of um, having what educational informative Zoom talks. I don't really fancy name for it, but the ones where we come on and somebody ask all the questions and yeah, you have those educational ones. Then you have the in-person social ones, where we get together as a tribe. And over the years, I've seen it from small groups to very large groups. But the what I always like is the environment, the sense. There's a word that don't come into me, but the still come to me. Is always comfortable, is always relaxed, is always good recreation. You don't know plenty people. I mean, I have gone by myself already, I think to one or two. And yes, I'm with Jennifer and Carrie-Ann. Most of the other people I didn't know. But you never felt that you had to, or like you were in a corner by yourself, or that you needed to, you just fell into a group, fell into a conversation, and, and that's what I like, that over the years we've grown into, I call it my family by another two mothers, right? That's Jennifer and Terry, and these days we things going, that's a regular family, two more. So I like to think of it like that because 6 years may not sound like a long time, but it is in terms of these kinds of relationships and activity type things happening. So for me, I think it's really a blessing because we've never had anything. That's what I like, the positive vibes. You know, you go and everything is flowing. After it doesn't happen, you never know the difference. You never hear anybody snap at anybody, anything. Nothing like that. Nothing derogatory. You always leave feeling good, better than when you came. And as I said, it doesn't matter who you meet because over the years I've met many different people from many different walks of life. Also, sometimes I don't even know the people, but that doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
And I think it's a real blessing from God that it is this type of tribe that we're creating, but there's so much negative in the world, and to me, it's all positive. So congrats. You're going from 6 to 6 years again, right? You have 6 years ahead of us. We wishing you all the best. We wishing that God will continue to walk with you all and bless you all and continue to do the good. Amen.
Yes, Sharon, thanks. Before Cheryl, I'll come to you after because what is great with Cheryl, you will share in terms of normally you would look at us online because you have been overseas. So let me just ask Gail to share. Similar to Charmaine, Gail has been more or less, well, based in Trinidad, attending to nearly all of our activities. Yes, Gail?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, Gail, we're hearing you.
Okay. Good afternoon, all. Welcome to the birthday of Connections Plus. For me, the name Connections really adopted itself because I have connected with people who I haven't seen for a while in some of the outings. You know, when the group was open up to invite people to come to outings, there were
Yes.
people I met there who I didn't see in long time acquaintances. And that come from connections. We connected, you know, and it's also like a good friend, you know, a loyal friend who will
Yeah.
tell you when you're going right or wrong without any inhibitions, you know, like the legal aspects of it, doing a will, um, taking care of yourself and admitting things to yourself, plus the declutting, you know, of all the things that we know we should do. You all are just like, it's the group is like a reminder. These sessions are like reminders and ticklers, you know, for us to really search ourselves and do these things, the little reminders, important things that we keep to ourselves. And the ticklers is reminders that apart from keeping it to yourself, you have to do some activity on it. You have to
Yeah.
act. Because many times we say tomorrow, and tomorrow pass tomorrow. You know, so the ticklers really tickle us into getting into action. So I like the connecting with people, the ticklers reminding us of taking action in our lives, and also going to places that you probably wouldn't have even think about going by yourself. Just
Yeah.
the relaxation of going out and enjoying the companionship of other people from all walks of life. That's what I will say.
Thanks, Gail. So we go to Joanne.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Connections. Happy birthday to Connections. 6 years. I've been here all 6. Well, I have been there from inception.
Another one at the launch.
And yes. And I was even around when you were talking about it, both of you, I think. Anyway. Yes. So for me, it is all about connections, as you say. It's a connection. It is, for me, it's like sisters.
Yeah.
We all together in this. We going along the road. I've met a lot of people, and I've brought 1 or 2 people, and it's quite interesting because for me personally, I was always the only child, so therefore I always like to connect with other women because I mean that's just me, and the social and how we talk to each other. And as Charmaine said, you don't know, but you get to make new friends. And it's always something interesting about somebody. I've seen people come to Connections and I can see they're a little shy. I would consider myself shy, but people will say I'm not shy, but they're quiet. And then I've seen them blossom. I've seen them coming to the different activities and, they blossom. And I think it's all of us interacting with each other, and we just gelling. As you say, it's 6 years, we're going along, we gelling and becoming a new version of ourselves as a tribe. And it's a different tribe. It's not a normal group because I'm in a few groups. It's not a normal group. It's a different tribe with respect for your space, respect for people's personality, total respect. And that's what we need on this journey, 50 plus, 60 plus. We need it. It's a welcome space to be in. When you're saying to yourself, what I'm going to do today, boy? Or when I'm thinking of something, I'm thinking, I wonder if anybody is going through this today.
Yeah.
And connection, you have the talks, and it hit your heart, and they say, yes, boy, we're really going through that, and it's very educational, what we do, where we go, and I would encourage anybody to join Connection 50 Plus. I see us growing. We're just growing, leaps and bounds, and growing. That's it. We're growing.
Thank you, Joanne. Well, Cheryl, we are so happy to have you here. So I will just allow you to share how you came up upon Connections 50 Plus, how you heard about us, where you based, and what you think about what we're doing.
Yes, well, I think it's been about, I think it's a year. I was here in Barbados. I'm back in Barbados now. And I just happened to be just on the sofa, just watching TV, nothing particular. And then I came across the show. And that show, you all were talking about how people, like today, how people were finding Connections 50 Plus, and there was a panel. And I just watched and I just got intrigued, and I thought, sounds like just what I need. And I would describe that, I was saying to a friend, as a God moment. It really was, because in the morning, I was speaking to a friend about something similar. And then and then I saw you all in the evening. So then I remember ringing, I think the next day I rang Terry Ann to find out more, if anyone could join and all of that. And then that's how I came across you all. And I must say, I've really found it, even though I'm not in Trinidad, I don't physically connect with you, but I still feel like I have a bit of a family.
Yeah.
In a funny sort of way. And you know, when Wednesday comes and I'll pick up, you know, look at the topic and then tune in and listen, it's really something that resonates with life as because I'm 62 now. It's resonating with things that concern me. And I've been telling friends about it. I told a friend about it today, actually. So I've been sort of spreading the word for people that want to connect and listen, you know, to the topics. And I love the topic that was about the pride. Don't let pride kill
you.
And, you know, it was just so true because we all have our own personalities, but then sometimes we can hold ourselves back with this pride thing. So it's freeing. So actually listening to that program, it was a freeing of your spirit, freeing you to maybe do things a little bit differently, a different type of attitude about things. Yeah, so to be honest with you, I'm really proud of what you've done. Happy birthday. And it's really helped me. It's really helped me. And as I said, I do share what the topics and different things with others. So, and I love the one, Jennifer, the carnival, when you were putting on your different attires, your different clothes.
Yes.
And matching and realizing how you don't have to be buying a whole lot of clothes.
Yes,
You can mix and match. That was fun as well. So it's really been useful, really, really good.
Good.
So thank you.
Good.
Yeah,
So Tarian, I know you had some special.
You know, one of the things that as we started, you know, we keep telling everyone that this is not a scripted show, and even this discussion that we're having here, it never is scripted. And you know, what I love most about this is not only, Jennifer, our friendship, and you know, as we go along, there's a 10-year difference between us, and there was an indirect connection when I was very, very young. Then I knew your deceased husband, and then we knew each other kind of remotely. You work with my sister, and then all of a sudden you come right back looping, and here we are doing this thing together. And what I hear you all saying is that this space allows you to really, we talk about things that matter to our lives, and because we consider ourselves to be typical people, I don't think we are extraordinary in any sense. I think we are the average persons. Those topics resonate, and because we can speak so easily and honestly and openly to each other, everyone comes into it. And I am always so, it really warms my heart when we get the feedback from people that says, as Joanne said, I live in that now, or it brought someone a chuckle. But it's not a laugh, a comedy laugh. It's a laugh in that, yeah, I'm in that situation, and I could relate to it. And I love that about our community. I really, really do love it about our community, and all of you, along with so many other people who are, you know, a part of us. I think we've really been able to, because the topics that we choose are topics that are real to us, things happening, and you put it out there, and it really does warm my heart when we get feedback from people, and it so happens that, hey, this is how they feel too. So I really deal with that sisterhood and brotherhood because we have male viewers also, and the friendships that we've created here. Yes.
Thanks. Marva, thanks for joining us and joining our anniversary celebration.
I know I missed a lot of things, but I wasn't about to miss this one.
No, but you're in time because we are just sharing, and we had actually Cheryl, who is based in Barbados, and who came upon our show, and she just shared how she did that and what it's meant to her. And I'm glad you're joining us because you're also based overseas.
Yes.
And so you haven't had the opportunity to actually participate in any of the activities. But I was just saying that Cheryl, similar to you, overseas, and you all haven't been able to join in terms physically, I should say, the several activities, but I know you have been online with forums, etc. So Marva, you can just share with us. We're just sharing, how you feel about us on Connections 50 Plus and on 5.8G Alive.
Yes. Well, from its inception,
yes,
I knew it was something good.
Yeah.
For me, it was something that people should have paid for. I just finished coming off of a situation where it was like 3 months of personal development. And it was sad that it ended because there was a lot of accountability and responsibility based on the things that we were told to do. And I feel the same thing about Connection 50. Connection 50 Plus to me should have been, it's like a program for self-development after 50, personal development. Because the topics that you all brought on, even I was a guest at one time, which I totally enjoyed. But I think the guest and the topics that you all brought on were so relevant. And sometimes it was, even though I live in America, it was still relevant for me, the knowledge alone. I don't have to be in Trinidad to take the knowledge and be in Trinidad with the knowledge. It served a purpose, a very good purpose for me at this stage in my life and the things that I've been doing, and helped me develop and helped me to listen to people like Dr. Rouse and all those other people who you brought on with such good, even I forget the lady's name who came on with the sexual health and
Monica Henry.
That was a terrific segment. And for the people who did not get onto that, they missed out because there are a lot of misconceptions surrounding sexual health and sex particularly. And it was done in such a wonderful, how to put this word in, decent,
let me say, they missed the very impressive dildo, the shape of a penis. That was impressive like hell.
Right.
I asked her where she got that.
Yes.
And I'm not going to say my husband not offended, but it was really nice. And the beautiful model of a woman's vagina. And many of us don't look at ourselves. So that session was real.
And to me, if you're over 21, or even if you're over 50, you're familiar with those things. So I don't see where the limited belief surrounding that. It has to do with recreation. You see, but other than that, it was always nice to come on and participate and give my opinion. They were so interesting. One thing that resonated with me was that lady who owned that bakery or something in Port of Spain.
Oh, yes.
That was terrific. The questions asked, it was so stimulating. She was anxious to talk. I introduced a lot of people here to come to it, and a lot of them are still coming to it when they have time because, life changes.
Yeah.
But even those people, even my friend Velma went to one of the activities, and she was so enthralled by how you all were embracing and so loving. I don't see how anybody could not be part of this connection because it's a must. You know why? You have to be open and honest with where you are.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're 60, you're 70. It's okay. There's life after that is really good. I'm telling you, and this is what you all presented, and that is why, sometimes I feel a little guilty when I know I'm involved in something else and I can't come on, but my spirit is always with you all with this project. And I think it's a project that should you all should have been fully paid for based on what I just came off of. I'm serious. This is strong. This is, you know what I mean? And besides that, it still has a grassroots component to it because it caters to everybody where they are. There's no judgment, no criticism, no presumptions, no assumptions. It's just fully in it. And I praise you, both of you. I compliment you, both of you, for having this stick-to-itiveness. You know, and that alone is an example of how you're supposed to live, in my opinion.
Thanks, Marvin. I must say, for me too, what I enjoy most when we started to now is being real. I can be myself. I remember in the very early when we started, and the feedback, because we're very early, we're still learning how to work the computer, how to in those days, of course, we don't know about doing a show. And when we started, and we were very, again, we don't rehearse. We just discuss the topic and we come on to talk. And I remember getting a feedback, which I took as constructive feedback, person saying, oh, you all have to be, you know, in terms of your dress, you know, what you wear, how you speak, and I remembered one of the shows I tried, and I was so uncomfortable, you know, and I don't need a prompt or anything. If I cannot be me, then I cannot do a show like this. And from the time Terry-Ann and I chatted, and we said, this is how we are. We are not here to model. When persons watch us on the show, they have to listen to us. They mustn't watch to see if your hairstyle is like this, if you like how we look, great. But that must not be the reason why we're coming on. We're not on show, you know, for that. And I really enjoy being real. And when we get the feedback, I remember I met someone and the feedback comes like if we're out and somebody will come up to you, because we don't have on our show, as you say, we're not sponsored or anything. So, and we are not a call-in show. So we're not sure. Basically, we see numbers from maybe Facebook and YouTube, but they don't be the real numbers. But in terms of feedback, when we go out, you know, we will have not a stranger again, because they come up and hug you. From the time somebody come and hug me, I know it's somebody from who watch Connection, part of the tribe. But I recall this person coming up to me, hug me, and she said, oh God, I love this show. It was so nice. You know what I like about you all? I feel like if I'm in my living room and part of you, like if you all visited me and I'm chatting with you, and this is what I found that to me was real. I felt so good about it, you know. And recently you know, Cheryl spoke about the fun we were having with the changing of the outfits around Carnival time. And I went to a brunch, having a good time. And this other tribe member was there with 3 others I don't know, of course. And she come and hug me and she said, I wanted to see if you wear one of the outfits you had. You were showing us. And she's happy, you know. And congrats. She said, you know, that encouraged me to go and look in my cupboard and see what I could put together. So when you get feedback like that, you say, well, good. We are real. We are authentic.
Yes.
And as Terry-Ann say, we are normal folks. Right. And we are being received like that. And I really, really appreciate, and the amount of friends, and I like to connect. So I love to connect with people.
And as Terry-Ann, as I, you know, with Terry-Ann will push that button. If that topic is a very serious topic about accountability and responsibility and what you're not doing and what you should be doing, I like how Terry-Ann courageously pushes those buttons. And I'm sure when she pushes them and she asks a question or she speaks on it, I'm sure people get like, oh, she's speaking about me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You give people pause. So
Yeah.
the both of you, even though you're together, I think you all complement each other with your personality and with hers, you know. She will ask you them questions and put things out there for you to take pause even after and reflect. I have done a lot of that being on this thing. I have done a lot of that. It give me pause to think about my behavior, to think about doing what I'm not doing. You have to continue.
Yeah. You know,
That's all
one
I
of
can-
the things, and I would love to get your feedback on this because I don't consider this to be a show, quite frankly. This is not a show for me. If it were a show, I have to prepare and you have to script and a show requires a certain level of decorum and a certain type of there are boundaries inherent in a show. To me, this is really Jennifer and I are talking about topics that mean something to us. And I know that we have a lot of people who are going through the same thing listening. I really don't think about the internet and who else is listening, and there's no show for me. And you know, we just before we were talking about this is our 6th anniversary and what does this mean to us, and I was saying to Jennifer, you know, connections 50 plus, we hear from people, they listen to us, and because we are in this stage of life, so many of us are single. Even if we're in partnerships, a reality of life on the third act stage for men and for women, and I think more for women, and Marva going off a cliff now, and people might call and say whatever, but I know I'm speaking the truth. So many of us, when we get to this stage, we talked about it before, Jennifer, if people understand the roots of connections 50 plus, this is the 3rd stage of life. We are in our 5th, 6th and 7th and 8th decades of life. So much has gone before. And because we are now so free, the children are adults, we have left the formal workplace and we are now contending with our human selves. And very often we look at the people that we are living with, and it is not that there is no love, we love them, but because we've developed and grown so much, there are so many deficiencies. And I honestly know very few of my peers who can honestly say that my partner, my spouse, my close sibling, my whoever it is really understands the me that I am today. Because the last probably 30 years has been so preoccupied with homemaking, child rearing, career building, bill paying, and stuff like that, that people don't look at each other as individuals. And more for women, I'm a woman, so I take my perspective. I don't try to speak for men. Men will speak up if they wish to. We are realizing that we are so much, we know deep inside, we are so much more than being put out there. We know we are so much more. We are so much more energy. We are so much more fun. We are sexual beings. We are social beings. But because you come so far, it's like, well, we're carrying this, we're going with this energy. We're putting this energy because everybody has an idea about you. And I truly feel that what the essence of what we're doing at Collections 50 Plus is creating that space where we can
Yes.
explore that energy because we don't know what it is. We feel it.
Yes.
All of us feel it. You know, each one of us knows I could do so much more. But
Yeah, we're not one-dimensional. We are multi-dimensional. We're discovering that. We're also
exactly.
discovering that we don't have to be. We unapologetic. We at least one of the things that I learned from these forums, these segments,
Mhm.
is I could be, and I said it today, anybody's business, and how everybody look at me is not how I am looking at me now. And
Yeah.
I am very unapologetic. And I've tested it over and over. When I decide to do something, whether it comes intuitively or whether it just comes vicariously, whatever, it's still my responsibility, but I'm still going to do it regardless of how somebody might say, what are you doing that for? I don't put up with that. What is it doing? Don't question that with me. That
But
is what I
Marva,
want to do.
Marva, let me ask the group a question before we get onto that. Does what I perceive to be reality, how I interpret us now, this ball of energy that just waiting to be rediscovered and so on. Would you all agree that does that relate to you? Is that something that makes sense to you?
Yes, it does relate to me because, like you said, I'm feeling that there's more to me than what meets the eye. I'm discovering the me. I'm walking authentically, trying to walk in my truth, and I'm stand on it. And I know that there is more. That's why I'm doing more. People will say, okay, you're retired now, you're 73. What are you doing? Yes, you have plenty to do, plenty books to read, plenty people to get to think, plenty things to discover. I'm doing something called a SEA. It's working for me, a passive income, residual. It's great. And there's still more. And it's, you feel good when you know that you could still do more, especially if you could walk, you could talk, you could think.
To me, Cheryl, what do you think, Cheryl?
With regards to
what I said,
worrying about what people think and all of that.
No, just not what people think. I am very much into you. Do you feel that you are much more and can do much more now?
Yes, I do, because where I am now, my sphere of life, I've lost both of my parents. My mum died last November. So I was for the past 6 years, 5-6 years, I've been caring for mum and dad along with my siblings here in Barbados, in England, all of that. So my role, that was Cheryl, caring for mum and dad, organizing the carers here in Barbados, sorting this out, sorting that out, sorting everything out. Now I'm at a place, I've come back to Barbados to relax a bit and just find myself again. And as I'm, what's the word? Maybe recalibrating, trying to find myself, I know there's a whole lot because I'm beginning to see now who is Cheryl. It's like I'm back against the wall now. What this might, it's like a blank canvas.
Yep.
Now it's like I've got to start putting the paint on, and that's where I'm at. So, and there is lots to do. A friend came over today, and I spoke to her on the phone before she came to visit today, and she said, "Oh, you're in Barbados on your own." And I said, "Well, yes, I've got a few family, but yes, I'm here." And she said, "There's not much to do, is there?" And I said, "No, there's a whole lot to do." I said, "There's a whole lot to do. But when I get myself sorted out, I will start to put the paint on the canvas." So yes, there is, because I'm a social person. I love meeting new people. And I've always been someone that's not busy as in running, myself ragged, but having purpose. Having purpose. And that's where I'm leading to. So it's like, yes, I'm grieving. I'm coming to terms that I no longer have my parents, so that's another thing. But it's purpose for me now, and there's things to do.
That's a position of a lot of energy and potential. And I think
Sorry?
that's a position of living with a lot of energy because you recognize how much potential there is. And I think
Yes.
that's where Connections 50 Plus plays, you know?
Yes.
Gail, what about you?
Well, yes, for me, I have more time to do the things that you didn't get to do and learn new things. And apart from that, I would say build a new or extended relationship with my husband because we worked and now we are here 24/7. And it's like a renewal
Yeah.
because I think that's around this time when you retire, you get to be acquainted with that friendship that you all had when you were courting and that kind of thing because children go on, work on. So it's just the two of you all to grow and build on that relationship that started many years ago,
Yeah.
and that to me is important because you see a lot of people fragmented around this time in their life when they retire, husband going one way or wife going one way, or they don't have a communication. And that is important because being in that house where the children have left and
With a
other
stranger, you're there
people,
with a
friends,
stranger,
Yeah.
like a stranger, yeah.
so it's important because you are here now 24/7. So to me that is important
Yeah.
because you build this empire and then it's like an emptiness, so you don't want it to be empty. So you have to work on it to put the eggs in it, and it's just different eggs now.
But when you say eggs, huh?
Well, that's why I say
I
different
think I got some purpose.
eggs of maturity, eggs of camaraderie, eggs of sharing, doing things. And as she was saying that, you're now painting a new canvas of what marriage means to you or friendship, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because, we know how fragile life is. Today we here, tomorrow we gone, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Charmaine, what are your thoughts?
When you said it, I had to smile because I'm feeling where they have reality too, in that sense of truth, not at all comparing you all to the reality too. Yeah? So that's not that. But it had me thinking really because okay, when I'm retired 9 years now, so I would have retired before you all started and all that. And the plan that I had for my life, thank God, I was here from the beginning. I remember when Dr. Alison Gibbons came and she spoke about relationships, especially you, the children, the grandchildren, that kind of thing. I realized in hindsight that I would have carried a lot of guilt, because he had to understand it is your life and you take part and you don't have to say and have to give and have to, they have to make the room itself. That was, actually, it was news to me, but in a sense, it was a aha moment in that sense. So that it gave me the tools to say what I had to say, stand up for what, and not feel guilty. So I believe a lot of stuff I would have done without because of that kind of information, the timeliness of it, the relevance of it, and I was able then to face things, um, getting in no trouble or no quarrel or no anything, because I have children and grandchildren home here with me. So I have a very full life, but what I find with Connection 50 Plus, and I think it's undervalued a lot in society. We need to have that kind of connection. I have a beautiful family, we get along well and all of that, you know what I mean? But there is still that need for me to be with my, you know, in order for me to be a stronger person in the house, you know. So it's not that I would have been looking, and I'm talking about the undervaluing from the point of view. I remember a doctor had said that, I can't remember her name, about at this stage of your life and all that, the value of relationships with each other.
Yeah.
I am an introvert. I would love I could sit by myself, read a book and whatever and whatever. But I understand how much that does. And she was talking about heart health. So the medical popping of pills that plenty people like to go and this the way we going with that, you know, I realize that a lot of it, you should keep yourself very healthy, mentally, physically, and otherwise, psychologically, and all that. Just by, and I say just by, but it's not just by, it's a very meaningful part of this aspect of my life in terms of developing me and helping me to grow into who I am and helping me to realize in a lot of cases and identify with a lot of things that we said, like Dr. Rouse reasoning and all those kinds of topics when we talk. Help you to see yourself and get to know who you are.
Yeah, definitely. Jennifer, you go ahead.
No, I just want to say, and you say, I really believe different stages in our lives cause us to, and not just stage, but circumstances as we on our journey causes us to change direction sometimes, So my plans, and I always look and I talk about it a lot. I plan life in 10-year spans, and sometimes you really get to shake up, challenges come to you. But for me, I don't ever look when these things happen. I understand, and I like to, have a lot of talks to people who, like how we have our guests coming in and chatting on different topics. They are the experts. I learn a lot from that. I also would use professionals who may be in their field that can really help me. And I shared recently in terms of my health journey, which all the plans I had, I realized that I have to change. But within that change, I saw the need. We spoke just now about relationship and family. For me, I saw how important it is to have that relationship, to have that circle of friends and family around you. I think that is so, for me, is so needed to get me through. And I will continue through this stage of life. And I see myself as I get older, looking down the road, because underlying all this is my happiness, and to be happy, I know I want to, of course, remain in good health, and having friends around me and my family love makes a difference for how I am preparing and for my later stage in life. So I totally agree. For me, that relationship building and having that love of family around helps in terms of how we deal with whatever situation that we are faced with. Yeah.
I totally agree, Jennifer. totally agree with that. The socialization at this stage is very important.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who you socialize with, who you talk to, who is there for you. And to me, what happened to you was an opportunity for you to even grow further, you know, for you to grow further. It was not because of the support that you had. It was an important event that had so many benefits and so much for you to learn. And I saw it because you have a quiet nature, and when that quiet nature comes in, that's your spirit coming in to tell you what to do. You seem to have to you have to be kind of quiet, but you still have the people around you. You're thinking, you're understanding, and you're coming to understand the benefits within what has happened to you.
Yeah.
And there were many benefits that came out of it, and it came out of it great.
Yeah.
You know? So I applaud you for that. And that gave me too a lot of strength. You know, the more things that come to you that are, you know how life is, as I think it's Cheryl who said, it's unpredictable. Today you're here and tomorrow you're not. But you rallied, you had people rallying around you, and you blossomed after that. Because you're looking terrific.
Thank you.
Yes, you're looking terrific. Yeah, I love that. There's a lot to learn.
One of the things that I think is done that we do well at Connections, and I got toot our horn here, and I think it's coming out in a lot of the discussions that I'm hearing, is that there's so many challenges that we face in life. I don't want to use the word challenges. Things happen. We're getting older. We're going to have disease. We're going to have issues. We're going to have family drama and family trauma. But we also going to have celebrations. We're also going to do all kinds of things. And that is a real part of life. You're going there, you know, and we are closer to it now. But one of the things that I think we do very well with 5.8G Alive and with Connections 50 Plus is to normalize it. Normal meaning that, okay, it's happening. So Jen has cancer. Cheryl, you've lost your parent. Gail, you're reconnecting. Not that you were disconnected with your husband. Marva, you're going through your processes. All of us, every single person on the third act stage is going through some kind of metamorphosis, some kind of change, some kind of, because we are going into the part of life where to the world, you are now not as relevant to current issues. So you have to create your own issues. And I think one of the key things that we do is we create a normal space to say, okay, yeah, that's reality.
Yeah.
But that does not mean that you are now irrelevant or that you are now no longer useful. It is, okay, let's now talk about our issues. Because if you look at the young people, their whole discussion now is stress, you know, stress and trying to keep themselves relevant at work. And that is their whole discussion, and that is their life. We don't have those issues, but that does not mean that we are not relevant. They might not live as long as us, because I know I didn't have that kind of stress when I was that stage. But we have normalized talking about the things that happen to us on this third act stage. And it's not extraordinary things. It happened to everybody. Yeah. Friends dying, parents dying, friends getting sick, siblings getting sick. But also you're trying to find a way to go out and have fun when your knee hurting you. Or you can't Ben, or you didn't have the energy that you had before. Oh, some of us not as fortunate. Gail, you're trying to reconnect with the husband. Some people trying to find partners. Some people just don't understand. You have an image of where it was 40 years ago, but no, you can't do those acrobatics now again. So how are you going to do it? Does it mean that I am not as acceptable as I was? And I think the fact that we've been able to normalize those conversations and to have those conversations as is life. Let's talk about it. I think that has helped so many of our followers to say, yes, this thing makes sense, because Jennifer and I are not sitting down here dressing up pretty and having a set and all that kind of stuff. And you're looking to see, all right, how the makeup looking, how the hair looking. My crochet braid need to be doing right now. And I really don't want somebody seeing the crazy tracks. In a few weeks, you'll see it looking better. But we talk about life, and I think because we are real, we all become so much more beautiful because we relax, be cool, be okay, and it's acceptable.
Terry-Ann, what I like to do, because we reached 6 years, and we really appreciate the feedback is great, and we are on the right track, and we continue to try to keep improving. But for us too, Terry-Ann, I always ask this on you, I like people to give feedback, but I also come to terms with the fact that, yes, we are all our cohort secret agents. We don't like to talk our business. We still hear from persons saying, you and Terry-Ann really brave, how we all could talk your business. But you don't really want to hear business. What I would really like to hear from Charmaine and the others on with us this evening is what else you see is needed on this third act stage. How can we expand, on what we do in such a way to benefit those who haven't come on board as yet? Well, what could be a missing link?
Yes, Cheryl.
I don't know if it's done already, but as you all have been, it's 6 years, and some of you have been here from the beginning, and I've just sort of more or less come in. I was wondering how myself and people like myself can make even though you're in Trinidad, can make a closer connection. So therefore, me getting to know some of the others from the group in a more closer way. So to speak to them sometimes, that type of way, make a closer connection, even though I'm physically not in Trinidad, that sort of thing. So I guess for me, I'll be able to feel a bit more integrated, because a lot of us are social people, and it's nice to make connections with like-minded people. Not everybody, but that sort of thing. So I'm just wondering if there's an avenue for that, if it's already done that I don't know about. So that for me would be something useful.
And Charles, that's interesting, because Terry-Ann will tell you only this evening, before we actually started the show, she was suggesting something quite similar. Wasn't looking too much as international, but I can see how it, as you said, can be integrated. And definitely that's something we love to move forward with. That's a great idea. And we could incorporate it in what we were thinking of doing also.
Yeah. So it will be, I think both you and Marva echoed the same thing. And I would say right now, as we evolve and we go forward, we understand that there is a need for another level of connections.
Yeah.
Might not always be face to face. And we're going to be reaching out to you all to probably offline to just talk and brainstorm about how that what that could look like, because I
Yeah.
think that's part of the dream. And
Yeah.
it is one of the things that I think we want to put on that blank canvas, but we don't know if to use crayon, pencil, watercolors. And we just have to start. And we will build it and go along, because there's another level of interaction, because Jennifer is an energy coach and she talks about energy. And I feel that our cohort has more energy, and it may not involve the masses, and there may be a few that would want to, that will be able to pioneer it. And we're going to make an attempt. No, we're not going to make, we're going to do it. And we're going to do it collaboratively, and we'll create it together. I don't think it's something Jennifer and I can do. We'll have to bring you all on board to help.
Yeah, together.
To help do it.
Yeah, I think it should happen and get it a little more personal, because you only have 1 hour. When you all come on, it's just 1 hour. But when you look at the potential of everybody based on how they speak and what they bring, if I start to talk to Cheryl, whether I start to text her or start off with the text, let's say you partner me with Cheryl, there has to be more, because there's more to us dimensionally. Cheryl, I could say something to Cheryl. I could tell Cheryl, yes, I started to do some art, some painting, and I didn't know I had it in me. And Cheryl said, I want to do that. I could also crochet. What do you think I should do? I think you could get a little more intimate with the partnerships. There might be something that could happen that I could tell Cheryl, especially if Cheryl is down. The 1 hour would not be able to do it. And I know she has other friends. But belonging to this group and having that kind of partnership, I think is really putting it on another level.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Shaman, what your Gail?
I think it's
Gail and Shaman, what
It's
your
a piece of art with crochet in it. Yes,
any suggestions again from Gail? What you think?
They get a flower or something and you put on it.
Yes, Shaman. I think Shaman was going to say something. Yeah, she took off her mic.
As you were talking, I remember we were supposed to do something with book writing or something with a book. But what's going through my head is everybody has a story. And you know, the as a book. Yeah. So I was saying, I was looking coming out of that book writing that was supposed to happen. Everybody has a story. And I was thinking if we could have laid it down in some way for us to write that story, to get that story out. I need to put out a minute exactly how it is, because I know too much about that part of it. But the same way we would have been approaching the book, it's a way we could do, whether we do these stories, just to share a story, like how you all would say your story. I find you get a lot of, I think it's not comfort, but sometimes when you hear something else and how somebody else handled it and that not only opens up options for you, but I think it helps you to, for you to feel that you're not alone in this, and sometimes you even get ideas, other ways of dealing with it when you hear somebody else talking about it. So whether it's a workshop we have and we write the stories and we can share the stories, if people want to put it in, they put it in, they don't want to put it in, they don't put it in.
Yeah.
And the stories, that is what is going through my head. You could do it like a tea, a workshop, a tea time, combined kind of thing, something along those lines.
Thanks, Shaman, for that. Gail, what you suggest? Shaman, and we making notes of what is being said.
We are all at different stages in our life at this time, and we all have talents too. What might be quite um, interesting, this is just like maybe 1% of our core grouping of people. We could probably do a questionnaire, and like for instance, like what would we like to see more coming out of the group to help the group grow? Because
Yeah.
all of us have our own ideas of what we would like to see. So from that survey or questionnaire that everybody interested in, or things that we never even thought about, to carry the group from one level to the next,
Yeah.
it will help in that way.
Okay, great.
Yeah. One of the things, Jennifer, as Jennifer said, we were talking about this, and we're going to do something different. I mean, I don't know that we can give the details right now because it's very, very rough outline. And I think what we are talking about will not happen on a mass basis. It will have to be more personal, more intimate, and it will require individuals who are of like mind to commit to be part of this experiment to develop this thing further. Not to come and sit down and watch on, but who would want to be part of it? And we, Jennifer and I, are going to brainstorm a bit more, and that may be another level of connections 50 plus. You might have a little inner circle, and you'll have the big circle, and not of course segregating or anything like that, but it's something that we need to connect with, and we'll find a way. But as we have Joanne, before your internet goes wackadoo again, John, tell us how do you feel about life right now?
How do I feel about life now? Life is exciting for me. It's evolving. I'm finally at a stage where there are a lot of things going on. My son is at his age, and I always remember my son's advice to me when he graduated from college years ago. He said, "Mommy, now it's just to you do you." That's what he said. You do you. You did everything for me. You do you. And I followed that advice. But I think since I turned 60, I'm just following it more.
Yeah.
And I am seeing that there are some people that I took on in life, and I just can't be bothered with them anymore. Boundaries. And I'm not afraid to say no to them. And I'm not afraid to say, okay, had enough of this,
Yeah.
Really had enough of this. Now, I remember my mother at 50 doing that. And I said, oh, where did she do that? But there, I'm excited about the person that is still evolving in me.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about doing something new. A simple thing, I'm going to Tobago on Wednesday for Easter. Never been to Tobago. Never thought of going to Tobago for Easter. And I thought of my choir and I said, but when I go to Tobago, I can pray. I don't need to be in the choir to be singing. Of course, my choir mistress is, she gave me a look. I didn't tell her where I was going. I just told her, oh, there she goes again. She's gone. But, I'm doing things in life, just I was all upset with the computer just now, and I said, what the hell? Let me try the phone. And sorry about what I just said. Okay. But, I didn't mean it in that thing. But, and I'm just doing me.
Yeah.
And I'm not apologetic about anything, and I just say, God, you guide me, and he guides me. Sometimes I say, oh, Johnny, going to that boy, where the money coming from? And the money comes.
Yeah.
I'm just evolving. I'm so happy with myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my little space, having been married and divorced and everything, and I'm happy. Jumping up in a band, Carnival Monday and Tuesday. I am happy with myself.
Great. Yeah.
And I could add a little story onto that. So I would have met Joanne through Jennifer, through this connections view. And last year we happened to play mass in a big group, but we weren't really playing mass together. We were together, but she had friends, I had friends, and so on. This year, me and my sisters planned a big reunion, and we were playing mass, and things so happened that neither of them could come, and it ended up with Joanne and I being there. And we had such a good time. Each
Yeah.
playing mass in their own style and way, and people say they want to do things. And I think this is a great example of how the tribe. So
Yeah.
you want to do something, you want to go somewhere. This tribe should connect to go to do this or do that. Cheryl, you're now in the Caribbean. Yeah, there may be someone venturing into Barbados. Connect with Cheryl, and if you're here, I hope you're here next month in May. So who knows, you could hop over and join us with our with our plans. But
Yes.
that connecting, if we really think about what connecting means to us, and at this stage in life, it is so important. And it could be a one-person connection, it could be a group, it could be a whatever it is.
Yeah.
But really, so that, as Joanne said, you could just tap into the energy of your life, and however that energy wants to be manifested, you let it manifest, Yeah. You might take a bus, a train, a plane, ride, walk, or call, Zoom. As you say, if Marva and Cheryl creating art. Cheryl, we made you an artist.
Crochet art.
It will allow us to celebrate our wins. When Joanne was talking and Joanne said, it seems like the little thing, she's going to Tobago, that's a celebration. She's excited about that.
Yeah.
So I think if we could celebrate our wins, if I could call Cheryl and say, guess what happened today? And celebrate, it could be no matter how small, no matter how large. Let's celebrate our wins, because I think that will put more wind in our sail, in supporting each other with these wins.
Energy, energize you.
Yes, and give us hope. Just celebrate anything.
Yeah.
And something, if we know each other,
right here.
if we know each other and we have each other's connections, and we are on, we have this box.
Yeah.
What stops? Marva, you are in Maryland?
Yes.
You're in Maryland. Cheryl, you're either in Barbados or in London. Charmaine, you in South. Gail, you in the East. Joanne, you in the West. And Jennifer and I here. What stops us having an experience? Just get onto WhatsApp and call everybody and say, hey, look at what I'm looking at now.
Yes.
What stops us? And I think that's the kind of experiences we can have. You see, you have to show something is really fun. You turn on a WhatsApp group chat and you say, well, let's check out this.
Yeah.
And I think that's how we can get over distance and geography. And we can still bring each other into our lives. And I think the beauty of, because Jennifer and I very often say, it is not a labor of love. This we really having fun. There's no labor.
Yeah.
And it's not about money. It's about connectivity and making life meaningful.
Yeah. But during the COVID, you know what I did, and I think it was so great for me. Some of my friends, we both, like me and another friend, be on WhatsApp or whatever, video, and I am cooking a dish, and she is there seeing me in my kitchen cook this dish, okay? And we talking all kinds of things while I eating. And she saying, Mama, move that pot now, move that handle, put the handle on the other side, now you're going to bounce down the pot. It was so enjoyable. Let me tell you something. You say, hey, Mama, get like it this or you that, you know what I mean? So it brought this kind, and we know how close we have gotten with that.
Using
Very
technology.
close.
Yes. Yes.
She cutting up a chicken.
Yeah, simple life, sharing life. Yeah, it will be like if you go, and I think that is it's not the evolution that the whole of connections will become like that. We will still have 5.8 G alive. We will still have the events and stuff. But when like-minded people feel connected, then you're free to connect and bring others on. So if you seeing something interesting in Barbados or Maryland, put Jan and I on as in a video chat and say, hey, Ollie, look what's going on here.
Yeah.
What stops us from doing that? Nothing does.
So definitely Gail's idea and Terry, and we will definitely like that, the questionnaire. And we have to celebrate the anniversary, we have a road trip coming up, and that might be a great time also. I know we did something similar when we did the road trip to Paramin, where we had a little questionnaire and we had asked persons to give us some feedback on that. So yeah, and get the input, because we are definitely, as we move forward, looking to even, as you say, not just connect, but Cheryl mentioned, to do some more of the integration, of everyone utilizing their skills. We have persons, lots of people out there with different skills who have the knowledge, but they're still very hesitant to come forward. And maybe when we start with these small groups, and they may want to come forward and or connect with somebody else who they feel, they think like them.
And I will be like Terry Ann. I'm not dragging you. You have to want it and you have to come on. But Jennifer will come and drag you, but I'm not dragging you.
Actually,
I'm not dragging you.
Let me say that. And it's so funny. I'm no longer dragging anybody, I realize. I do it like Joanne. I'm about me now.
Yes.
Willingly.
I had to realize that let me use up that energy on me. I was spending it too much trying to not fix other persons, but making sure that, as Terry said, drag them along if I feel like I know this will make them happy. I know they can do that, but they themselves very, reluctant. Yeah. I am no longer doing that. I am saying about me, and of course, welcome anybody who want to come along with me. I'll put out the invitation there, of course, and happy for those who want to connect, but I'm no longer dragging anybody, Terry.
I agree. I was saying the similar thing to a friend. Yeah. In England, we tend to say, we have a saying, you can take the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink.
Yeah, we know that.
And that is typical of me really trying to advise and do this.
Yeah.
And then I came to a point where I just thought, I don't have the energy for it anymore.
You've drunk the horse. You've drunk the horse.
Yeah. Really, I have. That's been me all along, and I'm not doing it anymore. I will advise you. I would let you know what I think, and just leave it there, because it's very energy consuming.
Yeah, and
especially when the person isn't reciprocating, it's just going over their head. And
and it tend to be still with the same person over and over.
Yes.
So we release. I mean, I know I can release easily, but I have really looked and see how are you spending that energy? What are you doing with your energy right now? Absolutely. And that is to make sure that I remain, my goal is to happiness, to be happy and healthy and live life,
On your terms.
Definitely.
Yep.
On your terms.
Yeah.
Nobody else's.
So Terry Ann, where are we closing at this
time? I think this has been a lovely birthday party. I really, really do. And I think we have, I promise you all that, and not only to the people who are here, because it can be other people. You don't want a too big a group. This has been a perfect group. But definitely you're going to be hearing from us. In these times, the world is changing. The world is changing. everybody is realizing that there's no more Godfather and there's no more Big Daddy to always, and we got to grow up and stand on our own 2 feet. And as Joanne said, we have to decide what terms are suitable for us for living. And that doesn't mean we become selfish brutes or anything like that. But I think it's not wise for us to sit down, not chasing our dreams or expressing ourselves because we're preoccupied with what other people think. If there's an opportunity, reach out and start it. And I think that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
What we can do too is come out of our comfort zone, because you know, when we get stuck there, and we're not too young to challenge our young selves. We should still be challenging ourselves because we're still vibrant and have life, you know, and I think that is what some of us are not doing. And we are timid, you know, we probably might look back, I worked hard, it is no, but you still have life, you know, and you can still do things to enjoy life. And a lot of us suffer in silence, and we don't know that there is so much out there by sharing that will help motivate us to move on, you know. So we need to just step out of that little comfort zone a little bit.
We need to talk less about what we don't have and focus more on what we have. The conversation is too much about what I don't have or what I lost and all that nonsense.
Yeah, because it's gone.
Yeah. So, ladies, this was so much fun. This was so much
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to us.
Happy birthday.
This is such a joyful time.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to us.
And our anniversary normally falls around my birthday and Easter time. So it's a lot of celebration at this time.
Yes, Jen.
Definitely.
It's going to be great.
So, thank you all very, very much. Stay listening. We will reach out to you and we will let you know what the plans are. And Cheryl, if you are in the Caribbean in the middle of next month, I really hope that we can get you here.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Yes, we work on that. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. See you all.
Bye. Bye.
Joanne. Bye-bye, Cheryl.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Stay blessed.
Jennifer, we are doing a lot, and I am very proud of us. I really am very proud of us and what we are doing, you know? So.
And what best way, Terry-Ann, as usual, for us to celebrate with our tribe? So we have plans for you. We are going to celebrate. You know, you all have been asking, what's coming up? And we thought, listen, we have to celebrate our anniversary in the way you all love, which is a road trip. Yeah.
And very soon you'll be hearing a lot of information. It's going to be about food. It's going to be about fun. It's going to be about adventure. It's going to be traveling, yes, on the road. It's going to be entertainment. It's going to be very multidimensional. So you are going to have a great time. You're going to see a part of Trinidad. We're looking at the Northwestern Peninsula, but you're getting a perspective. You think you know it. You know the Chagaramas Main Road. You don't know the Northwestern Peninsula like we are going to show it to you.
Yeah, and as usual, it's all inclusive. Yeah.
Yes.
Everything.
The transport, breakfast, lunch, tours, tour guides, entertainment, nature walks, a river lime, a fancy river lime. So we are hooking up with the Carnage fish fry to make sure that breakfast is banging and lunch is super. So
So we'll send you all the details, and that's happening next month. That's happening in May.
Yes.
That's
You're going to get it. You're going to get it. So as we celebrate, thank you so much. Thank you for those who joined us today. And as we are in this, so many things going on. We are in the middle of Holy Week, the holiest of holies, the reason that we who are Christians are Christians.
yeah.
So everyone have a blessed, wonderful Tridium weekend.
Yes.
I wish everyone all the best. Enjoy your Holy Thursday, your Good Friday, the silence of Saturday, and Resurrection Sunday. Enjoy, and then start resting and having a good time on Monday with your holiday.
So this is great. See, be blessed. Really, as Terry-Ann said, have a great, blessed, week. So week for reflection, a week to give praise and to celebrate also.
Definitely. So see you guys next week after Easter. So be good. Bye.
50 Plus Tribe and follow us from Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean.
Thank you for joining us on this Connections 50 Plus 5.8G Alive show.
We hope you enjoyed the lively conversation and look forward to seeing you next week.
Don't forget to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We really love getting your feedback. Bye for now.